Can you guys hear me?
Yes.
Yeah, I hear you.
Oh, okay. Sorry, my computer did a thing, and I was worried. So,
Edit that out in post.
Yeah, cut it out. An action. Coruscant. Cut.
Hi. Boomgas.
Boomgas. It's gonna be great.
It's gonna be great.
Wait, what?
So I guess I'll go. I'm Sal, and then my buddies. Someone take it away.
I am Nathan. Hello, everyone. Hello.
And I'm Josiah. We've done these kinds of things before, so but have we done recording with all three?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh.
We did that for Berserk and
we had the failed Game of Thrones talk.
Oh no. See, that's the thing is, like, I wanted to talk about it, but just ever since that happened, I was like, bad luck, mate.
But this is Star Wars today.
Yeah.
Star Wars Day.
So
May the 4th be with you in December.
So all three of us just watched through like all 6 original films. Original.
Yeah.
Air quotes for the audience on that one.
I did. We did.
Yeah.
Sal.
I watched a bit of the actual Clone Wars like CG show.
Okay.
It gets good.
Oh yeah, no, it does. Well, a quick anecdote on the Clone Wars show. Around season 2, I think I'm enjoying season 2 more than 1 because 2 actually has like story arcs.
Yep.
Yes.
Like we spent like 6 episodes on like the Bug Planet.
Yeah.
And like it feels, I don't know, it feels good to actually have like big
each
stories.
season gets better than the last, I think, would be a good way of saying.
I would agree with that.
Yeah, 5 and 6 are about the same, but
because my issue with season 1 was that like it kept, I don't know, being like little stories, and I wanted like big ones.
Yeah, it gets better, a lot better.
Oh yeah, definitely. But
the movie is.
It has it has one of my issues though, as a lot of Star Wars things do, which is why don't you just use the Force?
I think we're gonna get to that in this conversation about the new movie a little bit. I've been stewing, so I have a lot to say. But yes, it's interesting to see how the different creative teams use the Force and how characters think to use the Force. Let me put it that way.
Yeah, because there's this scene, the episode I just watched, where Ahsoka's chasing this person who stole her lightsaber.
Yeah.
And the whole time she's chasing her on foot, I'm like, why don't you just Force pull the lightsaber out of her pocket?
Exactly.
Civilians, gotta be careful.
Yeah, what if it turns on? I guess.
What if she accidentally Force pulls a baby?
Oh my god! Just breaks its neck. Oh my god!
Plus the episode would be over.
Well, like that's the thing about the Clone Wars, though, is that the good episodes will get better and better and better, but the bad episodes they'll always be like 2 or 3 of them.
Yeah.
Which is safe because every season's like 22 episodes. So there's gonna be days where like they have to be like, well, we just need an episode this week.
Well, I think we're all on record as saying that I think most we prefer when shows have like a 13 episode.
Mm-hmm.
I won't put words into people's mouths, but that's usually the better shows have that.
Yeah, that's my sweet spot.
I think 13 is normally when it's good. That said, I would like it if seasons were longer, but if it's a choice between length and quality, that's what she said, I will pick the quality. It's funny because my parents just got back from visiting my grandparents down in Oregon, and starting yesterday, my dad was like, okay, I want to go see Force Awakens, but I have to watch through the Star Wars movies, so I've restarted the marathon now. So yesterday we watched episode 1 and 2, and I'm just like, yes, I need more. I need to watch through these again.
I already, like, it sucks that I'm poor, but I want to go back and watch Force Awakens again.
Exactly. I hate being a college kid because I'm just like, I need to see this like 3 or 4 times in theaters.
Yeah. Like, it's rare that I step out of a movie theater and want to just go right back in and watch it again. Like,
yes! I wanted to sneak into another viewing.
It almost never happens, but this time I was like, geez, I really want to watch this movie just one more time. Just to get it in. Just feel it.
Yeah, because nowadays, a lot of my experience with movies is me sort of, like, because I'll generally enjoy them in theaters, generally, unless they're awful, but I'll enjoy it in the movie theaters, and then as soon as I leave, I'll just be like, okay, was that the movie that was winning me over, or was that just the theater magic that just sort of infects people?
Dude, I had that, because after the 10 minutes after watching Force Awakens, I did not talk to anybody. I was literally just stunned, and I was like, okay, was it an amazing film? And so I spent those 10 minutes in deep thought, thinking back on what the errors could have been, because even though I knew I enjoyed it, but I also knew that the theater probably made it better than it probably was.
I think we're gonna get into it because I'm very curious. Nathan said to me a few days later. Well, I think it was 2 days later. You were like, okay, now that the hype's died down, what do you think of the movie?
Yeah, I've had some of those thoughts too. I've had a few
exactly.
maybe this could have been done.
Yeah, and we'll definitely get into it because I was afraid my thoughts might be a bit more on the critical side. Maybe I'm just a cynical twat. I'm definitely not saying it's not a bad movie. Like, go see it. You're gonna have a good time with it.
It's Star Wars.
But since
it is Star Wars, that's the biggest thing, is that it feels like a Star Wars movie.
It's interesting. We'll talk about it.
All right, so
I think we should do the rankings. Yeah.
Yeah.
So Phantom Menace was the best, obviously.
I think so. Darth Maul. No.
The subtle slapstick humor of Jar Jar was just way ahead of its time.
I think it captured what the Three Stooges doesn't compare. Just all the great masters.
Well, he's the funniest character than any other movies.
He was the key to all of that. He was the key to the prequel trilogy, I think, and people don't really see that. He's a funnier character than they ever had in this film.
I wish he had more episodes in the Clone Wars.
I think such. I think we should have had a whole season of Jar Jar.
Oh my god, I can't do this. I can't live this life.
That was the proposal for season 7.
Oh my god.
Yeah. Okay, so we're ranking this. We're going in order of chronological, and then we're ranking it.
Yeah, chronological.
I think everyone knows the chronological. So I think just go from. Do we want to do best worst or worst best?
Either way is easy for me. I have the most easiest ranking here, I think.
Okay.
I'd say do it however the hell you want. It's your ranking.
All right, and just be sure not to include Force Awakens in this one. We'll get to it later.
Okay.
Just the 6.
But if you want to include the Clone Wars movie, because you were a poor fool who decided to watch it because it was officially released in theaters, then
whatever, man.
I saw Clone Wars movie in theaters.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
Oh my god.
Even I didn't do that. I caught it on DVD, and I was a mega Star Wars fan.
Yeah, that was my life.
I'm sorry.
I'm not gonna count it because I don't even know where I fucking put that movie.
I do.
Also, because I haven't seen it since theaters. Like, it's been so long.
Who wants to go first?
I'll do it.
Okay.
Again, I have the easiest, so just get mine out of the way. So, from my least favorite to my favorite. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Literally, for me, every film, from Phantom to Attack to Sith and all that, every film is better than the last one. Because Phantom Menace sucked dick.
Yes.
Phantom Menace it didn't even have to be there. It doesn't even
No.
You can skip Phantom Menace.
You can even skip it almost.
Yeah, there's almost nothing there. And also all the Jedi Council are barely in it, so you don't even really get to meet them.
Yeah.
Everything is just no. Attack of the Clones is a little better.
Yeah.
Okay.
Ewan McGregor's in it more, and he's my favorite part of the entire prequels.
It's just
him and his sassiness. I love him. He's the best part of the prequels. Is Ewan McGregor for me. But then you get the 3, and just that last half is so they try so hard to be good that and you can almost you kind of want it to be good, but you know it's not. But you can you can feel them trying so hard to redeem it in the end.
Which feels so much more different from the other 2 movies, where it just feels like there is an effort in them.
Yeah,
in my opinion.
I feel like the events of 3 should have been stretched out for the whole trilogy. You know,
almost.
Yeah, maybe a bit of the Clone Wars at the end for the beginning.
Almost like if you had done episode 2 as episode 1, and then a Clone Wars movie.
Yeah.
Yeah,
for Revenge of the.
And the Clone Wars movie would be where all the characterization would come into.
Yeah.
And then you do 3, where it's the finale. Now you give a shit. Now you care.
The original trilogy almost.
Oh. And then there's of course, even though 4 is just above 3 in terms of my favorite, the jump in quality.
Oh yes.
More like the fucking plane ride of quality. It's so fucking huge. A New Hope
We're
is
talking like ocean depths to tip of Mount Everest.
seriously, it's just like the quality just insane. It's incredible.
Yeah.
Because like I watched it with all my roommates, and so when we watched the first 3 films, we were laughing the entire time. But when it got to like 4, 5, and 6, we were pretty tame. Like, there were some jokes, but we were watching that movie.
Yeah, of course.
Exactly.
Like it just shuts you up because even though you've seen it a million times, you're like, this is good movies. And 4 is great because it introduces the world, the characters, and you get the sense of like, it's just a sense of like mysticism and amazement. And also, it's like I think the only really real Star Wars film that's its own movie. That's its own like that and Phantom Menace, I think.
Wait,
No,
are
no,
you
no.
serious?
For entirely different reasons.
Yeah, no, for all like, but just because how the stories are structured, where if these were the only films made, they could be just standalone films.
Yes. I think.
Which is actually a thing I don't like about Force Awakens, but we'll get to that. but A New Hope feels like it's its own. If just that came out and nothing else happened,
Yes.
it would feel like a good standalone. You'd feel
It
accomplished.
would still be a classic.
Because you just think that Darth Vader like spun off and died, and he was defeated, and
like let me put it this way: the loose threads of A New Hope, because it was kind of designed to be Flash Gordon, so it would be it's still a complete story, but it's still just a chapter in this grand story. And so if you never saw it, you could say, well, Darth Vader got away, but it's a separate adventure.
Happens. Yeah.
It's not important.
And that's one of the best things I like about New Hope is that you can just watch it and you're done. Like, you don't have to continue. There's no, like, hey, look at the sequels. But, of course, above A New Hope is Empire. And, oh, my God, Empire is so good. And it was my favorite for a very long time until, like, this watch-through. And when I realized that Return was my favorite. But Empire just, for all the obvious reasons of the characters are, like, in their lowest point. There's some of, like, the best, like, most memorable lines.
Mm-hmm.
Fucking Yoda.
Yeah.
Fucking Yoda again. And just Cloud's,
that fucking puppet.
Cloud.
Yes.
Oh yeah, like it feels so good.
Yeah.
It feels so real, even though you know it's fake.
Like, yeah, I remember rewatching it this time, and I was like, yeah, I know that's a puppet. But then, like, by the next scene, I was like, oh right, that's a puppet. What?
Yeah, it feels so. Because you're so into the world at this point, because it's such a good movie. Because, like, for the prequels, if they were written and performed better, I might have bought some of the overuse of CG.
Yeah.
I still would have bitched about it.
I will always let that slide if the story is fantastic.
Which is why I don't mind the Warcraft movie coming out. Because I know, like, all the orcs are CG, but I think that the story is going to be good enough to where I'm not going to mind.
That's fair enough.
Because, like, in episode 6, there's the part where the Gamorrean guard's standing there, and you can see the rubber bending in his arm. And I'm like, but you know what? It's a good movie. Like, the little things you can look past.
Yeah.
So 6 is your favorite?
Yeah, and 6 is my favorite because it's just the culmination of everything, and it's mainly because of that fight between Vader and Luke.
I will say that's possibly the best fight in the series.
Also because I love this film because there's so much more character things happening. Because in the other two, we're always doing stuff.
Yes.
But in this one, we're doing this side thing to save Han Solo in the beginning for half an hour. And then there's a good 20 minutes of just people talking and just doing things. Like, in that 20 minutes, like, Yoda dies. They set up the plans for the next bit of the movie. But, like, I don't know. I just think that the first, like, hour is just people. And it just feels good and real. Because I care more about the characters than I do the story. Like, the story's whatever to me. Like, the story is, okay, go blow up the thing. Cool.
Yeah.
But the characters are what make it interesting. So for the first, like... And 6 is just all character. Except for, like, Lando's bit. But that's okay. Lando's too busy blowing up stuff to do anything of importance. And we already had all this character in episode 5. Yeah, just 6 just has all these character beats. And it feels so... And some of them are a bit weirdly delivered. Carrie Fisher on drugs.
I was looking for that. Honestly, I will say, I didn't mind any of her lines. Well, okay, there's 2 or 3.
Yeah.
There's 2 or 3 when she's talking to Luke that are interesting.
Yeah.
But maybe that's just because Mark Hamill is just like
rocking
Because
it.
Mark Hamill's fucking nailing it, and he's Mark fucking Hamill.
And
Yeah.
also because Return of the Jedi has my favorite character, Luke.
The Ewoks?
No, Luke. Luke in that film's my favorite character.
Of course.
He's just so like that opening where he just walks in and he just like force chokes two bitches, and is like,
yeah.
"Yo, Jabba, give me my fucking friends," and you're like, "Oh my god, Luke!"
Yeah.
Like he doesn't look that much older than he did in 5, but he feels like he's wizened up so much.
Yeah.
I don't know, just it's amazing to me.
I will say, Return of the Jedi also has like the biggest catharsis for me.
Yeah.
Like, I almost tear up every time I see the scene when Luke takes off Vader's mask.
Oh God! Yes.
Like every time, it's so earned.
Oh, do you know where I tear up? Whenever the music swells and Luke just loses his shit.
Yeah, and he's like wailing on him.
Yes, that scene is
that,
amazing.
And that music
is so good.
It's so amazing.
Oh, so good.
Everything just comes together, and it's so raw. It just feels great.
Yeah, and what's amazing about Return of the Jedi is Luke doesn't defeat the big evil. It's similar to Lord of the Rings. Like, you know how Lord of the Rings, Frodo doesn't defeat Sauron. He, Gollum inadvertently does that,
Yeah.
And here, he literally has to just suffer and endure and then lose. And then his father, by redeeming someone, he is victorious. And I think it's really powerful.
Yeah, it's fucking... It's just so many feels. And also because, like, half the film, you're on Endor.
Mm-hmm.
And, like, and you never remember that. Like, going into it, you're like, oh, yeah, I'm going to watch this episode. And then you're like, wait a minute, we're already on Endor? And you're like, oh, shit, we're here for the whole movie. And I don't mind the Ewoks that much. They're cute. I don't mind them.
Like, I mind them a little bit, but I'll get to that in my ranking.
I could see why someone would mind, but I just personally don't. Like, I see them and I'm like, that's cute. I like that.
They're not a deal breaker for me, but I'll get to it once I start.
I mean, I can feel the marketing in those scenes.
Yeah.
Oh yes.
Lucas
is like, isn't it so cute? You should buy several teddy bears that look just like it.
But
yeah,
it's handled better than the prequels.
Miles better.
Because you can watch it and be like, that's marketing, but this is a good movie. Or you watch the prequels, you're like, that's marketing, and this movie sucks dick.
That reminds me of a moment that Josiah and I talked about in Force Awakens, but we'll get to it in a second.
No.
So, do you want to start ranking, or do you want me to go?
No, go ahead. Yeah.
All right. So my ranking from worst to best. Once again, Phantom Menace. Probably at the bottom. I will say that Phantom Menace and Attack of the Clones are really close. Possible tie for the bottom. I think you brought up a lot of the points, but I think the biggest crime besides Jar Jar and midichlorians, but the biggest flaw for episode 1 is just how boring it is. Like, so much of it is none of the characters feel like, I don't connect with any of the characters. You got these like wise, stoic Jedi that are just sort of like, oh yes, we're doing business. Then you got Natalie Portman doing like a 40-year-old man voice whenever she's the queen. You got Jake Lloyd Anakin, which I'm not going to connect with that kid.
I'm a person, and my name is Anakin.
And they blow you up. Boom.
They should have played that theme when he was a child. It would have been so effective.
It would have been
foreshadowing.
Well, it's apparently in one of the shots in episode 1 where you see the Vader shadow. So
oh my god, really?
Supposedly, supposedly.
I'm googling this while you talk.
Supposedly, I haven't been able to find where it is. Apparently, it's like right when he first comes in, and it's like his shadow down the stairs.
Deal.
But I don't know if that's true or if it's just a hoax. But yeah, so episode 1 is awful. which is really unfortunate considering it's the first Star Wars movie in like 17 years or so.
Yeah.
Or 16.
Yeah, there was such a wait.
Yeah.
That's the biggest downfall of that movie, is that the fact that everyone had to wait so long. Like, we didn't, because we were, like, young, but
yeah.
I grew up with one in addition to the first three.
Another thing that annoys me, it doesn't annoy Josiah, but it annoys me in episode 1. That fucking puppet they have for Yoda looks like, did they summon the original puppet through like the bowels of hell and it like got addicted to coke on the way up and is just like its life is ruined? Because that looks fucked up. And I'm just like, Yoda, bad touch.
I think that's just Yoda in the prequels. He doesn't feel like Yoda, even when he's CG. He looks like a fucking like confused little bunny rabbit.
Honestly, I do like this. I do like the CG Yoda more than Episode 1's puppet.
That's fair.
Because it makes no sense to me.
No, see, that's the thing is I don't like it nearly as much as I pretend, Nathan. I just do it because I know it annoys you.
I know.
I know that it's flawed, but I guess I'm an asshole and I'm like, well, it's a puppet, so it's automatically better, but that's not it.
I'm glad that at first they tried puppet.
Yeah.
Like, they didn't go straight, like, you know what, fuck it, CG.
What's funny, so the way we watched through the 6 movies and Clone Wars is I bought the Blu-ray box set for the prequels, but not for the originals, because I know they added even more shit for the originals. So I had the prequels in Blu-ray, and then I had the despecialized versions of the original.
Yeah.
So perfect.
But for the Blu-ray release of Episode 1, they put in the CGI model over the puppet. Yeah. And so that just made it so much better for me, because he doesn't look like a creepy pedophile.
It does look a little better. It does look a little better. Even though there's some movements where it's like, oh, you have to put that over the jerky puppet. So
yeah.
But still, you're not wrong. Looking back on it, like when I was a kid, I was like, oh, that's good. And when I saw Episode 2, I was like, oh, he's CGI. I wanted the puppet from Episode 1.
Oh, yeah. When I first started like rewatching Star Wars again, like a couple of years ago, when I went to Episode 1, I was just like, oh yeah, they got the puppet from like the original. It's great. And then I saw the fucking puppet. I'm like, holy shit.
Anyway,
so Episode 1, there's that. Episode 2, like I said, almost as bad as Episode 1 for different reasons this time, though. Even more CGI, which is just awful and terrible, and who likes it. The dialogue, I think, is infinitely worse, probably the worst of the entire series.
Oh, yeah.
Especially the romance scenes, like, holy crap.
I don't like sand. It's coarse, rough. It gets everywhere.
Supports a fascist government. So there's that. It does have its bright moments every now and then. I honestly think I do enjoy most of Anakin's like rage breakdown talk with Padme when he talks about killing the Sand People.
Hey, Josiah,
her reaction is incredibly inappropriate, but
hey, Josiah, could you do it for me?
Okay, I'll do it. I killed them. I killed them all. They're dead. Every single one of them. And not just the men, but the women. And the children, too. They're like animals, and so I slaughtered them like animals. I hate them.
To be angry is to be human. Wait, what the fuck?
What the fuck? You should be concerned.
But yeah, so I think that Hayden Christensen, I think he does great in his scenes involving his mother. It's just Padme, Obi-Wan, and every other topic that he brings up that just does not work for him.
He's good with
So
politics.
anyway, Episode 2 in the shitter, unfortunately. Episode 3, I do think there is quite a lot of improvement. They still use a lot of CGI, but since it's 3 years later, it looks much better. So it doesn't feel as to me. The fucking lizard thing that Obi-Wan rides around on is awful, but you know, whatever. The big thing that makes it so much better is just how enjoyable it is. Like, those first two get so just like boring and like not engaging. So episode 3, much better. Anakin doesn't seem as much as a whiny douche, and when he is, he acknowledges it. Like, I love the scene where he talks to Obi-Wan and says, you know, I haven't been behaving like I should. I've been arrogant, and I'm sorry. And I'm just like, that's a really good moment. That's one of the few moments when I feel the connection between Anakin and Obi-Wan outside of the Clone Wars and everything that's not the actual movies. So that scene's really good. Palpatine steals the friggin' show because he's just so Ian McDermott having so much fun. I will say every time I watch it, Anakin's sudden switch to the dark side becomes worse. Just more and more of a.
It's amazing.
It's horrible. That's the moment it turns. Like, the moment it all turns.
Like, I feel like, and I mean, besides the fact that George Lucas wrote and directed and went with the first draft for all his movies, I feel like he got to that point and was just like, and didn't know how to transition to that. So he just sort of like skirted over that. Because then afterwards, when Anakin's in the dark side, it's really good. Like, seeing him walk up the steps with the stormtroopers, seeing him slaughtering all the people on Mustafar, it's like, holy shit, this is Darth Vader. Like, this is horrifying. But it's just like, but seeing that switch, you know, when, you know, the beginning of the movie where he's no longer the douchey episode 2 version, and then you just have this one, like, 5-minute scene of him going, I pledge myself to your teachings. And it's like, what the fuck?
And he's like, oh yeah, by the way, I don't know the secret that Plagueis knew. We can learn it together. And he's like, wait, what? What'd you just say?
I've been tricked!
He's like, oh, I've been tricked.
I guess I'll take whatever chance I can get.
Here's the thing, though, is that what you said, Nathan, it's amazing how well Matthew Stover in the novel Revenge of the Sith makes the transition happen comparatively.
Wait, is it better than the novelization?
Dude, read the fucking novelization. It makes the movie 1,000 times better.
Just
I kid you not.
You guys so excited.
It's so good. Like, it literally, not much can make the prequels better in of themselves, just the stuff around it, but that novel is literally, like, amazing. And he basically takes all the weird, like, jumps that Anakin makes in the film, and he makes it all like part of this deep internal struggle that works so well.
Mm-hmm.
But
it's so weird how the side stuff makes you feel more like you get Anakin more.
Yeah.
Like, I was watching the Clone Wars series, and there's this scene where, like, Ahsoka's in danger, and Anakin, like, goes into, like, interrogate this guy, and he tries, and it's like, and the guy goes, your Jedi mind tricks will not work on me. Then Anakin just, like, pimp slaps him, and is like, oh, I'm not gonna use any Jedi mind tricks. And then starts, like, force choking him, and you're like, oh my god, I can see how he becomes Vader.
Yeah.
And then you watch the films, and you're like, oh.
What have I done?
Yeah. And another thing, like, when watching episode 4, you know, and hearing old Ben talk about the Clone Wars and his relationship with Anakin, when he talks about that, I'm picturing stuff from the Clone Wars series, because that's where you see the friendship between Anakin and Obi-Wan.
Me too.
Because they are together for like 2 minutes, or like a minute total on episode 1. They are not friends and do not get along, and are, again, barely together in episode 2. It's a little bit better for the first half of episode 3, but it's the Clone Wars where I see it clearly, and they, like, interact, and they give each other crap, and it feels good.
To be clear, your audience, he's referring to the series, both series, and not the movie.
Well, I mean, I see their friendship at the movie, but...
I do, but it's stinky. Let me put
the movie's only good to lead into the show, so you know how Anakin and Ahsoka meet. That's it.
Yeah.
The whole movie's for that one scene.
The movie's a good lead into the series with the promise of it only gets better from here.
Yeah. It's your initiation.
Yeah.
Oh God.
It's the baptism by fire. I tried watching it. I tried watching it a few times. It wasn't until like the third or fourth try when I made it through the entirety of the movie.
Yeah.
Because the first 2 tries, I think I made it like 10 minutes and then like 20 minutes.
And even in the marathon, we were fine with getting up and getting food like for 10 minutes.
Oh yeah, we did not pay as close attention at all with Clone Wars. But anyway, so there's 1, 2, 3, and then 4. Or no, I'm sorry. Hold on, I'm just following Sal around. So hold on,
Heyo.
1, 2, 3, and then here's where mine gets different. Is I would say 6. I'd say 6 is much better than 3. It's not like a close thing at all.
Yeah.
But it's also pretty distant from the other ones for me. And it's not because there's any. There's no like huge flaws like, oh, I hate that, like that's no good. It's just when watching in order of release, Return of the Jedi is the first Star Wars movie that I can start to nitpick with. Because New Hope and Empire sort of feel like untouchable to me. Like there's nothing that like sort of like distracts me from the story or how good this is going. But there are some of those things in Return of the Jedi. For one thing, I think this is where the tone becomes a little bit more inconsistent, because I mean you have at the same time you're having this fight between this big emotional climax between Luke and Vader and this fight and that wonderful music, you're also having Ewoks try to trip ATSTs with vines and rolling logs at them, and seeing Little Wicket smack himself in the face with the rock sling. And
you see that one Ewok die, and the other one's like, buddy, get up.
And I was happy.
Oh.
Get up.
Like I said, I don't like the Ewoks as much. I get like sort of what the message is, where it's like seeing these cute little furry things taking on the might of the Empire. It's ultimate underdog versus the top dog. But that doesn't mean I like it. I would have much preferred if they were like on the Wookiee planet, or
that would be awesome.
Just the rebels versus the Empire, like it had been for those first few films. Yeah, it just gets a little bit more inconsistent. I also think that the rescuing Han bit lasts for a little bit too long. It's never as bad as I remember it.
It's always pretty well paced, but
yeah.
still.
But there's a moment or two where it sort of drags, even though you get to see Slave Leia, which I mean, come on now. Yeah, the one thing, and this is something that just sort of recently became apparent to me. Like Sal, you talked about how it's focused on characters and such, but to me, at the very least, it doesn't feel like Han changes in this. Like, he feels very stagnant.
Yeah. He doesn't have a character arc in this movie.
They rescue him. Then he's just like, I'm Han Solo. I'm Harrison Ford. I'm just like, yeah, you are. You're awesome. But then he's just sort of like around. He's just sort of Han Solo, whereas he developed so much in New Hope and so much more in Empire Strikes Back. But in Return of the Jedi, we just get like this one scene where he's like kind of jealous of Luke because he saw them talking, and then it's like back to normal. So that was sort of to me. But other than that, fantastic movie. The fight between Vader and Luke is possibly my favorite of the entire series.
Yeah, me too. The shots where they're on the stairs are just so iconic.
Oh my god, that is, yeah, you can't beat that. So then going into episode 4, that is Star Wars. That introduces you to the world. Alec Guinness's Obi-Wan is absolutely flawless. I think one of the big when episode 3 was coming out, I remember I used to have this newspaper article like saved, but it was like a comparison between characters, and seeing which one was better. Like they had Luke and Anakin, which, but one of the cool ones was one between Ewan McGregor and Alec Guinness as Obi-Wan. And they were very, very close. They were the closest of all the characters. But I remember what they said that set Alec Guinness over Ewan McGregor is that when you look in Alec Guinness's eyes, like you believe all of the shit he says. You believe everything that he says he's gone through. Like you can see the Clone Wars in that man's eyes.
Yeah. And even after watching the prequels and you hear him talk, you imagine just a totally different event.
You imagine such the larger conflict like that. Yeah, like for me, when he talks about the Clone Wars, I'm thinking of both EUs plus like even more that we didn't see. Like it's like so much grander than anything that could possibly happen. Like, and it's not just the Clone Wars, just all these years in hiding, surviving, like fighting Tusken Raiders or whatever. I see that all in his eyes.
Yeah. And then, seeing all those classic characters come together, and it just feels so natural and so like this feels right. There are some cheesy moments here and there, but I'm so invested in it that I'm just like, yes, I welcome it. And then I think that Empire Strikes Back is just like not only the best Star Wars movie, but one of the greatest movies out there.
I would say so. Yeah.
Just in all across the board, the music, the cinematography, the character development, the designs, just the story, everything about it was holy shit. And with one of the greatest twists in cinema history, like, because it's so overrated now. Like everyone's just like, oh yeah, Darth Vader's Luke's father. It's just like, no, you don't understand.
Yeah, when I was a kid, I got to that point and I was like, what the fuck?
Yes, you just don't even understand. You're like, what the fuck?
It's been so long, but like, yeah, I think we all, like, people who like watched it without getting spoiled anyway, had that moment of, wait, no, what? Like, I'm sorry.
Yeah, and that moment, like, besides being a great twist and what leads into one of the best developments for characters in that series, is just one of the greatest ways for you to like feel Luke's despair and like his absolute loss at that moment, because like this is the man that killed his father. This is the man that killed Ben, who introduced him to this world. Like, it is all Vader's fault that Luke has been through so much shit. And then he finds this out. Like, not only does he fail spectacularly to save his friends or beat Vader, and like he accomplishes nothing, which is exactly what Yoda warned him. So not only has he failed, but this one like goal, this one like I have to beat Vader, I have to kill Vader, this one goal that he set for himself has like shattered in front of him and just ruined him. And that is just breathtaking to me. So that's my rankings of the 6 movies. Josiah?
So mine's closer to Nathan's, but it's still a bit different.
Okay.
On the bottom, I'm going to have to put the Clone Wars movie.
Oh my god.
Yeah, like, I mean, seriously.
Ouch.
Well, okay.
Yeah, now you have to talk about it.
Let me put this: when you stitch together 4 episodes of a TV show, 4 of the worst episodes, and you decide to put that in theaters and call it the next Star Wars movie, that just offends me. Like when I include it in my marathon, when I campaigned to include it in the marathon, I literally did it out of a perverse sense of just completism. Like, they put this in theaters, so I gotta watch it, and I hate myself, but I enjoy that I am beating them by I don't know. It's honestly not that bad. Like it's I don't feel like ranking it in between the prequels, honestly. But so Clone Wars movie, it's not like probably its better parts are better than a lot of some of the prequels, but just on principle that it's the least worthy to be a Star Wars movie in theaters.
Okay.
Like it's the least worthy. Like it's fine, but Stinky the Hutt and Sky Guy and Snips.
Hey, I'm okay with Snips.
And Count Dooku evil laughing for some reason. I'm like, wait, do you ever do that?
Are you okay, Christopher Lee?
No, he was not okay.
We're in the money.
So I'll just put the Clone Wars movie on the bottom, just for ease. I might think better of it later, but
all right.
Yeah, okay, rough start. And then episode 5. No, I'm just joking.
Yeah.
I will murder people.
Episode 5, order of release.
Order of release. Yes. No.
No, that was good.
Then I'm gonna go with 2. I'm switching it.
Okay.
I honestly do not like 2 more than 1, and I'll tell you why. It does kind of come down to dialogue. Like it's more. It does have laughable parts to me, but it's not as laughable as they used to be. Like it's just kind of, it's more boring. Like, at least with Phantom Menace, like, it might be some nostalgia, but it's just kind of like a weird introduction to the weird new setting, so I can accept it, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
Like, 2, it's
This
just...
is unprecedented. This is so weird.
Unfortunately, the debate is not over.
Is that wise?
Is that wise? But yeah, so 2 for me, it just... I don't know. It's close. It's very close, but I think 2 just goes down slightly because the romance is so bad. Like, at least in part 1, when he's giving Padme a Japor snippet, like, it's like, oh, that's adorable. You're just a child.
Yeah, episode 1 Anakin had more game than episode 2 Anakin.
He really did. In this episode, she's like, don't look at me like that. Why not? It's making me uncomfortable. Rape stares. Sorry, m'lady. Like, like it's scenes like that make me laugh, but at the same time, I'm like, Jesus. Or what was the conversation by the fire? I was quoting lines to Nathan to piss him off. I was, you are my very soul, tormenting me. You know, I wish that I could just wish away my feelings, but I can't. You're right. It would destroy us. And it's like, what the fuck?
What's weird is I pointed this out to Josiah.
I'm gonna go get some coffee. I'll be right back.
Okay.
Fuck you.
But I remember I pointed this out, how like when we were watching that scene, I was just like, Anakin's younger than us in this scene.
Yes, that freaked me out. I was like, what the hell?
And then when we were watching episode 3, I was just like, Anakin's barely older than you, Josiah.
I was like, wow.
Oh.
The Imperial March did play at that point. I was like, oh,
Live
young
too long.
fool. Yeah, no, I was literally like, young fool. Only now, at the end, do you understand? So yeah, 2, it's got good parts, like the scene where Anakin, basically everything with him going to save his mom is good.
Yeah,
I do like that. It's pretty scary. It's probably Hayden's best scene in that whole movie, honestly.
Oh, I would say so.
And like I said, I was making fun of it earlier, but I do like his emotional outbursts in principle, but with the context and with to be angry is to be human. I'm a Jedi. I know I'm better than this. I'm just like, what?
Yeah.
It's so confusing.
I was gonna say, also, even just the scene like leading up to that, where he's like fixing the thing. And
that's
like,
good. That's like, where
that's so good.
Because George Lucas, like, you know, he has you walking and stop and then turning, but like at least in that scene, he's fixing something, and it's like he's like, you know, I'm good at fixing things. I'm like, that's a good moment. Like that's the thing about the prequels that's so infuriating, is that there was so much good that could have been like expounded upon. Like that's kind of like why I'm a big fan of that era of the EU, because they expand on the Clone Wars and all the characters and make the politics make sense.
That's actually a cool thing that I just found out, is apparently there's going to be a limited release. I believe it's just going to be 5-issue comic that's going to be set between episode 1 and 2.
Really?
So that it's called Anakin and Obi-Wan. So we're finally cool. Like the new EU is finally just like, all right, we're gonna try touching the prequels here.
We're gonna do Jedi Quest.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, I've heard it's set 3 years after episode 1.
Oh, so he's really young.
So he's really young. And Obi-Wan only has like kind of a slight beard from what I've seen.
That's cool.
But I'm really curious. I'm curious what they'll do.
Because I don't remember the old EU covering those specific years in detail, as far as I am aware.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know when does Jedi Quest take place? Is that like 5 years later?
It's like he's starting to look like Hayden Christensen. Because how old is Hayden in Attack of the Clones? He's like 20?
He's 19.
He's 19. So I think the Jedi Quest happens when he's like 16. So they're actually going to touch the prequels.
Oh my!
And it's only 5 issues, so I don't think it'll be shit like the Star Wars or Darth Vader one that's currently.
Ooh, like, you're not a fan of those.
Yeah, those are awful. I'm hoping it'll be more like the Kanan or.
And guess what, Nathan? Those are canon.
Those are canon. I know.
Because everything from now on is canon.
I know.
Which is a curse, but also a blessing.
But that means that the Callista trilogy is not. So
but legends exist, Nathan. It will live on.
Legend, it's true. All of it.
Yeah, yeah. I was making a joke to Nathan when the Force Awakens trailer came out, and they're like, there were stories about what happened, and Han's like, it's true. All of it. I wanted to do an edit where they're like, there were legends about what happened. He's like, it's canon. All of it.
To be fair, they had to do something because Chewbacca.
Wait, what?
Oh, didn't Chewbacca die in Legends?
I honestly,
I don't know.
everybody always credits Darth Maul. Yeah, he's good. And so I won't say that's the only positive. I think there's some inventive stuff. I don't know. I'm really reconsidering it. I'm thinking about it now, and I'm like, maybe I got it wrong. But they're so close. It's literally like 2 followed.
Oh yeah,
very closely by 1.
It almost depends on my mood.
Yes.
Honestly, like I'll flip flop on that.
Yeah, sometimes Liam Neeson's sass really does it for me. And then let's just skip that and let's get 3. 3's a bit of a step up, but that's just for the enjoyment factor. Like I'm not bored when I'm watching Revenge of the Sith.
It's fair, yeah.
Yes.
It's the one that they actually kind of tried a little bit.
Anakin, you're breaking my heart. You turned her against me.
So love has blinded you.
Yeah, so love has blinded you. See, it's almost like that's the theme of the whole movie. Derp, derp, derp.
See, at the very least, like the romance scenes are just as bad.
Yes, but there's so little of them.
And they're so much shorter.
Well, I do like the scene where he finds out she's pregnant. That's actually, I think, a good scene. A decent scene.
That depends. Sometimes I love it. Sometimes just like, this is, okay.
It depends, yes.
Yeah.
I think when we come off the tail of episode 2, I'm like, oh, I actually think this means something. And well, we did watch the Clone Wars series, so the micro series, so we saw them conceive.
We saw that light turn off.
We didn't see them actually conceive the kids, but you see a light turn off after he gets the scar over his eye.
Oh my!
Yeah, he flies in on his badass Jedi ship and gets out, and she sees him, and she's like, "Oh, you have a scar. Let me touch it." And then he grabs and he hugs her, and then it's just flashes to night shot of
an apartment complex,
and then you just see the light turn off, and it's like, oh yeah, the making of Luke Skywalker.
Even though there's ridiculous moments and the fight goes on way too long, when Obi-Wan does say you were the chosen one, I'm like, wow, George, you actually managed to do a good conclusion to a bunch of shit buildup.
Well, that's the thing. George is a good idea guy. He's a good to have on the team as one of many. But when you give him the reins, no one's there to say, hey, George, maybe not that.
I may have gone too far in a couple places.
Hey, George, maybe not a 50s diner. Maybe
God.
Maybe not do that.
This time, that might be another reason why 2 is so low. When you get to that 50s bar, it's literally like, I'm sick. I feel nauseous.
It's so surreal.
When he goes,
no,
buddy.
Like seeing Ewan McGregor rapidly tapping the CGI shoulder.
Yeah, that was weird.
I feel for you, man. I feel for you.
And then the rape smile when he says, on how good your manners are, and how big your pocketbook is. I'm like, stop. Why are you so creepy?
What's funny is, to my memory, every single time I remember it as them doing that. It's just depends on how good your manners are, how big your and I swear I remember it cutting closer to his face, and then he's just pocketbook.
It kind of does.
No, it doesn't. I I was watching attentively, and it was the same, and I was no, I swear his face was closer. I swear.
So 3 is good. I really like it in parts. Really good. That's never mind. Retract that. It's decent enough for the conclusion of that trilogy. It's not quite as painful. And yes, like I said, it does go completely off the rails as soon as Anakin makes the switch. But again, McDermott is amazing, even when he's absolutely terrible. And a lot of it is terrible. I'm too weak. Don't kill me, please. It's what the? When we got to Revenge of the Sith in our marathon, I was like, "This is I'm fine with concluding here. I'm having fun."
Yeah.
And so next.
Wait. One thing that I forgot to bring up.
No,
Episode 3, You know, for all, you know, it's fun, you know, it's kind of all over the place, but it does introduce one of the greatest parts of Star Wars lore in canon now, and that's Darth Plagueis. Like,
Yes.
that one scene is so good.
It is. It's amazing. Even though Anakin's kind of like, let me put it this way.
A dummy.
In the defense of Anakin, this man is a friend who's grown up with him this whole time. So let's say you have like, you know, the father figure, a father figure in your life, like your uncle, and he's been your friend, and he's helped you make boats, and he's encouraged you and took you to science.
Sorry, just the way you said it was funny. Go on. What's up? How you doing?
He's not such a bad guy. Like, in the defense of Anakin, like after that scene, it's like, Jesus Christ, Anakin, why can't you get the point? But in the moment, I can buy that he's just curious.
Yeah.
Like, because Palpatine, you know, he was always a rebel, and I think that's why Anakin related to him. He's like, "Oh, you're reading Sith legends? I believe you." Like,
and that scene where Palpatine's like, "You must learn all sides of the Force to truly understand it." I'm like, "Oh, this is good."
Yeah, that's convincing, and I think that's kind of where the new movies are going. Like, Supreme Leader Snoke. You must embrace a larger view of the Force.
Did you mean a giant?
Yeah.
Oh, by the way,
I freaked out at that part. Just to skip ahead, when Nathan and I were watching that, and you see Snoke in the chair, I literally was like, "What the fuck is going on, Nathan? I'm so scared."
I had like a mild jump scare. I was just like, "Ah!"
I was like, "Wait." I was like, "What's going on?" I was literally like going, "Wait, what? Wait, what? Wait, what?" And then it was like, "Oh, it's a hologram." I was like, "Oh, thank the maker."
Me and Mike did a look to each other of like, "What the fuck?"
Yeah, I was like, "Wow, they're gonna go full on Prometheus. Like, they're just gonna." They're gonna have this guy be the engineer who created the Force or something. I don't know. Anyway.
I just want to say, even though we're almost like an hour into this, if no one understands, spoiler alert.
Well,
for everything.
Yeah. No context. It's not like it's gonna impact the movie, like, because.
No, but later. I'm just saying for now.
Yes.
You need to know.
So much spoilers.
So I
was on 3, and then the next one for me. The next one. Okay, so it was Clone Wars 2, 1, 3, and then I'll go with Nathan. I'll go with 6 being next, but it's such a jump upward. Yeah, I think 6 is closer to the other 2 for me than for Nathan. For me, it's a lot closer. It's like second place. You know, it's like almost to second place in the race. But yeah, I think Jedi Ewoks. I'm kind of in the middle. Like, sometimes I like them, and I think it's cute, and it feels Star Wars. And other times I'm like, really couldn't. I really don't need this scene of C-3PO telling them the story of Star Wars. Like, I think that's my least favorite scene once they get on Endor. I'm like,
I love that scene.
Jesus. I used to like it. Now it's like, why is this scene even here? Like, this is a scene you have off screen.
I just thought it was cute.
It's cute. I don't know. Like I said, I'm in the middle. I go back and forth. But, yeah, and then basically everything Nathan said, just I'm a little bit more favorable. Every positive thing he said as well. I think it's really, really good. Like, as a conclusion of the trilogy, it's completely satisfying for me. It's just within its own context, it has a few tiny flaws. But in context of the trilogy, it's so good. I'm glad that it turned out the way it did, especially when we're watching the despecialized versions, and I don't need to watch that music number in Jabba's palace, or at least the CGI one.
A question though, in those despecialized versions, because I know you gave them to me.
I did, yes.
Is Vader's eyebrows?
Yes.
Okay.
They removed that later. That's actually one of the fixes that I am fine with, is that in the special edition in the 97, and then later on they removed his eyebrows. In the original version, like even in every subsequent version of Return of the Jedi, Vader doesn't look like he's burned on 100% of his body.
Yeah.
Like, so the eyebrows thing, it doesn't, within the context of that trilogy, it's fine because it doesn't look like, it looks like he has several burns, but not. Maybe it didn't hit his eyebrows. I don't know.
Especially when you see the back of his head in Empire when he's putting on the, like, he doesn't look blue, and it looks more like he got like cut up and scarred more than burned. But
side note, I really hope Ewan McGregor comes back in the.
But he did.
No, he did. Like an anthology thing, though. I would love that.
Well, I know Nathan and I want a movie called Kenobi, and it's just him on Tatooine, like, surviving.
No, man, Ben Kenobi. Really sell it.
Well, no, but if you put it Kenobi, then it implies that he's turning into Ben. Like, I think that's the transition.
It's the transition from Obi-Wan to Ben.
Yeah. At the end of the movie, he says he goes to the bar, and they're like, "What's your name?" He's like, "Ben Kenobi,"
and that's Ben Kenobi, not Ben Solo, by the way.
Yeah, we'll get there. Wait,
anyway.
don't you mean Jason Solo? Wait, what?
Oh my god.
So 6, and then unlike both of you, honestly, 4 and 5 are tied for me.
All right.
Oh shit, a twist. Oh my god.
Yeah,
I respect that.
It's a twist. For different reasons. Empire is definitely a superior film in terms of writing. I will not say that otherwise. But 4, it has a magic, and it has a magic that may never be perfectly recaptured, it's the pacing of A New Hope is absolutely flawless.
Yes.
Like, it's complete. Like, even Empire has a brief lull, like maybe once or twice.
Yeah.
But New Hope is flawless pacing.
Okay.
And just, I'm trying to think of reasons I can compare them, but I have the same strong feelings about both of them. It's just there's different parts that ring louder for me.
And now my coffee's done. I'm gonna get that.
And then your coffee's done. Okay, so that's my list. Yeah, they were all different, which I'm glad.
Yeah, I think that ours are pretty much the same.
Pretty much, yeah.
Because I'm in that same boat where episode 1 and episode 2 are kind of interchangeable.
Yeah,
and I would say that, like, I don't know, like I think that 4 and 5 are definitely, like, super close. I don't know if I'd quite tie them
as close. Let me put it. I think for you, it's almost like as close as 2 and 1 are for you and me. 4 and 5 are for you.
Yes, I would say that. Which
is fine. Like I said, it might change. I think it's just because, like we said earlier, A New Hope can stand on its own.
Yeah.
As just a perfect little story.
Self-contained bubble.
Yeah, and Empire kind of can, but not really.
It kind of can, but imagine how pissed off everyone would be.
Well, let me put it this way.
And Empire loses points for making Lando dress up like Han in a complete WTF.
That's well. He had no clothes, man. He didn't bring his clothes from Cloud City.
Well, buy some fucking new ones. Does Han Solo have a closet on the Millennium Falcon where he just keeps the same wardrobe?
Oh my god, what?